Hi, I'm Randy Hollenbeck, and this is the Music Roundtable. Today on the show, we have Darrin Perry from Darrin Perry Management.
What's happening?
It's been a couple years since we last even spoke. It was November 2024. You were with Any Given Sin at Jurgles, and they were with Saint Osonia and Blackstone Cherry. Catch us up. What have you been up to the last couple years?
I've been touring, man. I'm between driving and tour managing, and I've done. I was VIP manager for Starset since I've seen you. Just I'm touring. I try to stay busy.
Okay. What have you learned over the last 2 years?
Oh, shoot. I've learned so much, man. Everything from tour etiquette to just kind of how the machine works. That's kind of a big part of it. If you get those two things kind of locked down, things start to get a little bit easier. But that's definitely been what I've been working on the last couple years.
Let's see. What has been who has been some of the bands you've worked with? I know Asking Alexandria you were out on tour with. Who were some of the other ones?
Since then, like I said, Star Set, I've done 3 tours with them. I've been touring with Silent Theory quite a bit. I started as their driver and kind of moved up to tour managing them. Same with Stitched Up Heart, Butcher Babies, who I'm at home getting packed up today to get head out with again. Infected Rain, I've been out with a lot of bands, man. I think that's for the last couple years. That's pretty much been my lineup, though. I did, yeah, Silent Theory, Asking Alexandria, Starset, yeah, and then my last year's been a bunch of girl bands. I've been with Stitched Up Heart, then Butcher Babies, then Infected Rain. Now I'm going back out with Butcher Babies. Uh, the girl metal bands have been good to me. I've had fun with them.
And I noticed you were like in a music video with Mayhem Jesus taking a part in that. Tell us about how that happened.
Uh, I've been friends with Mixie and Stitched Up Heart for a few years. You know, we kind of just meet each other on the scene a lot here and there. And she reached out to me. She wanted a Jesus for her video to have, Jesus and the devil. Shout out to Jules. And she reached out and wanted to know if I would do it. And I was just coming off of the Asking Alexandria tour, so I was on the West Coast anyway. So I just went, hung out in LA for a few days, and yeah, I got to be in. That's the first music video I've been in. I'm pretty stoked about it. It was fun. Me and Mixie and all of the baddies.
Awesome. Now, do you have any funny or crazy tour stories?
I got a lot of them. I'm just not going to say them on here. Yeah, I got a lot of funny stories. Let me think of ones. None that I really want to talk about here. No, man. I We have fun. There's all kinds of crazy stuff. I'm like I said, I'm getting ready to head out with Butcher Babies again. They're doing support for Chad Gray and on his solo tour. So I was out with them just earlier this year, and Sean, their bass player, him and he's anytime you're around him, it's going to be a funny story. He's just between trips to Bucky's and parking lot twerking, and it's just it's good. They're a fun camp to go out with. I'm stoked to go tour with them again.
Awesome. Now, let's get in a little bit of your background. Like, how did you get into this? Did you have like any training, or you just went at it full steam?
Yeah, well, uh, it was kind of I was at a low place probably. This was like pandemic time. Uh, I'd come out of a long-term relationship, then my mom had passed away, and then the pandemic hit, just like in 2-month intervals. It was a rough time. And I kinda came to the decision that there was more to life than working a job that you hate to pay for shit that you don't need, and, decided that I wasn't gonna work at factories and bartend anymore, and I wanted to I mean, music, I've been in bands, bar bands and shit since I was in high school, and, I've always wanted to tour, and I've always wanted to be on these big tours, and, uh, I decided to figure out a way to tour, and from that, Rock Rage Radio actually helped me out quite a bit. I caught the attention of a couple of their DJs, and we got to where we would talk, and finally John gave me my own show, and I used that to interview bands and make friends, and then, Jody Linnell from Transient actually gave me my first tour as a tour manager, and then actually uh, gave me a recommendation for another tour, and from then it's just kept going. I haven't stopped touring since that tour. I mean, for real, I let Jody know every time we talk, but he's a huge part of me being, touring full time like I am now.
And it just went like word of mouth from there, huh?
Yeah, yeah. It's just the music industry is a small circle, man. Everybody knows everybody, and if you come in, you got a good attitude, and you do your job well, then word gets around. And Mixie, shout out again to Mixie. She actually recommended me to Lena from Infected Rain and got me that tour. And then her management put me with Butcher Babies. And I mean, yeah, networking is huge in this industry. If you get in there and like I said, if you're not an asshole, then usually it'll work out okay.
Okay. Okay. And okay, let's talk about Darrin Perry Management. Did you just start this recently to encompass all the services you provide?
No, it's kind of another branch of what I'm doing. I've got the tour stuff. Eventually, I'm not going to want to tour full time like I do now. I mean, I legit tour 9 or 10 months a year. Eventually, I'm going to want to be able to stay home. So I'm looking into the future. Looking 5, 10, 15 year plans, kind of things like that. Uh, I was always I've been approached about managing bands a lot over the years. And there's always a few things that just kind of scared me about it that I was not that kept me from doing it. And I had a heart-to-heart talk with Sam actually from Asking Alexandria, and he told me that everything that scares me about doing it is what's gonna make me good at it. And kinda gave me another perspective to look to where, like, actually giving a fuck and you know, worrying about the band is a big plus for a manager. And I've got a lot of people that I can reach out to on questions that I have and get advice. So I finally I got the confidence up and decided that it was time to start Darrin Perry Management.
And you just signed Reign of Z to that?
I did. That's the first band I signed. It's a female fronted band out of Pennsylvania. Just they've got the drive and they've got the hunger. I just don't think they've kind of gotten their fair shake yet. So hopefully, with the work that we're going to do together. We got goals already getting established, and we're just going to work on knocking down goals one at a time. Another thing that I'm kind of stoked about with me doing my management is I'm not like a I'm not going to go for as many artists as I can get in my roster. There's going to be three bands that I work with, and I'm not going to work with any more than three. That way, I think there's too many out there that are just trying to spread themselves too thin, and I'm going to try to make sure that every artist that is with Darrin Perry Management has my full attention and gets an equal share of you know opportunities, I guess.
And what kind of like services do you provide for the band?
A big part of it's networking, and it's a lot of it is advice. A big part of it's advice. Everything from marketing to image to releases. I mean, I just kind of I'm trying to look over the whole project. I want to look at how they're perceived. I want to see how they markets are. Try to build them in weak markets. Try not to overexpose them in good markets. There's just a lot of things that a band they get so tunnel visioned on the show and the art that there's a lot of stuff that gets thrown to the side. And as their manager, I'm going to make sure all that stuff is held together and keep us going in the right direction.
Okay. Let's see here. But in the meantime, you're still going to be like tour managing, driving, doing like helping out with like merch and VIP support until you can like transition over fully into that.
Yeah, yeah. That's it's. I'm looking at probably 10 years before I stop touring. I'm not trying to stop touring anytime soon. The manager. That's another reason why I'm not trying to go 10 bands in my roster. I don't have time to dedicate myself to more than three. As it is, I can do my hourly call with everybody. If there's problems as a tour manager, I've actually got a little bit more leniency on driving. I've got a set schedule. I'm sleeping during the day. Hitting Catching phone calls is a little easier as a tour manager. It's I don't know. It's a work in progress, bro. It's you're trying to figure out how it's going to work. I'm just getting started with it, but so far it's been pretty cool. I'm happy with how it's going.
Okay. What's your plans for the next 6 months?
Next 6 months I'm going to be touring. I've got this one coming up. I'll be 2 of those months will be with the Butcher Babies. We're going to be all over the country. I'll probably have a couple months around. My slow time is usually December and January. But then I'm in talks with a band. I can't say anything. It's not been announced yet, but I've got another tour coming up early 2027.
Okay. Where can people find you if they want to get a hold of your services and stuff?
You can always email me, Darrin Perry Touring, DarrinPerry Touring at Gmail. Uh, Reach out on any Instagram or Facebook, or I don't really mess with X much, but I've got one. TikTok. I've got a TikTok. I'm trying to I hate that. I need to that's what I need. Whenever I'm able to hire somebody for my company, it's gonna be a social media manager, somebody to take care of all that crap. Because that's the worst part is trying to self-promote. When trying to self-promote and not look like a D-bag is nearly impossible. It's like, "Hey, look at me, guys." It's gross and cringy, but seems to be part of it.
Now, last time we talked, you were talking about doing like your own show about tour stories and stuff. What's up with that?
I'm actually still plugging away at that. I'm not gonna release, start doing stuff until I have some banked. But I've been recording some stuff, and I've done some, a couple bands here and there that I've worked with locals I've worked with between ghost stories at venues and digging into maybe doing some like guilty pleasures at record stores and just things along that line. Just I travel so much, I might as well meet up with some local bands and hang out and see what their scene's about. You know what I mean?
Cool. Um, that's all the questions I have. Thanks for coming on the show today. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Oh man, I just keep following along, man. I've had a lot of love from the community. It's a really cool little music circle that we found ourselves in, and I appreciate the love.
You said my name like it was yours.